Your limo is en route. The tables are hot. Welcome to New Las Vegas. Welcome to Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Will Meadows.
And I'm Sara Meadows, and today we're reviewing the game Welcome to New Las Vegas. This is from designers Benoit Turpin and illustrated by Anne Heidsick.
This is a 1 to 50 player flip and fill card game. Deepwater was kind enough to send us a prototype copy to check out in advance, so let's take a look at how it's played.
To set up the game, give each player 2 sheets and a pencil.
Choose one of each type of project card. And before play begins, players will choose if they want a lenient bank offering more money or a stingy bank by marking the space on the corner of their page and then folding it over so other players cannot see.
The deck is shuffled and split into 3 equal stacks. The first 3 cards are flipped and play begins.
Players will simultaneously mark the number on a casino in New Las Vegas and then take an action on the corresponding card.
Actions include things like construction, where players will mark a built casino and then construct one on another lot by crossing off the crane. They will owe money at the end of the game if that lot is not later filled with a casino.
Shows may be offered at certain casinos, but enough shows must be built before the debt can be paid for.
Limousines may be used to take rich customers to the various prestigious casinos for extra points. But make sure you get them back to the airport because the penalty is high for stranded patrons.
Golf courses can be built next to certain casinos. Future courses must be built adjacent to the current holes or the land will be lost.
Players may satisfy Ms. Mayor by helping with the inauguration process. Bonuses are awarded for helping, like taking extra actions or modifying address numbers.
New cards are flipped each round, with players adding one number to New Las Vegas each round. Once someone is no longer able to play a number into sequential order in their town, they will mark 2 spaces on the inauguration track.
As soon as a player cuts the ribbon, the game is over and the points are tallied. The player with the most points wins.
Welcome to New Las Vegas is a sequel to the Welcome to the Neighborhood game that introduced us to the flip and fill concept a couple years ago. This new version has us employing both the back and front side of the sheet of paper and takes some of those mechanics that we learned in the previous game but fleshes them out in brand new ways.
Yeah, one of those ways is the scoring mechanism. So in the base game, this one is a standalone, by the way. In the original game, you will just add a number to a house on the street. The street numbers need to get higher as you progress down the street. And that's about it. There are other ways to gain points by using those actions on the card. In this one, there are a few new ways to score points. One is having the most of a set of numbers in a row that are odd or even, which throws your thinking a little bit into this one. And then also, this one adds a whole nother street. So instead of 3 streets, there's a 4th street. And there are hotels along the bottom edge, which if you're the first to fill a full column, you will get to build a skyscraper hotel. And if not, you can still get some points by building a smaller hotel.
You've also got this limo action going on where on your turn you can choose the limo stack and build a route where you're trying to cross in front of specific limo and in front of specific casinos in order to earn bonus points. The game has just a plethora of different opportunities for you to own points, and usually you're going to kind of pick 1, 2, or 3 to kind of strategically focus on because you really can't get everything. There's so many things going on.
You could try to get everything. This one does have a lot more that's thinking behind the scenes, and it has consequences for not fulfilling things, unlike the base game. In the original game, if you had a house that had a pool, you can mark it. If you don't, you just don't get the points for it. In this one, if you build a new construction, and you don't place a building there by the end of the game, you have to pay for those debts that you've incurred. Also, if you put up a few shows but not enough so there's some competition going on. You will owe money at the end of the game for that as well. At the beginning of the game, you're going to vote if you want a lenient bank to give out more money to players or a more stringy bank. It has some rules in there about which majority votes which way, and then there's consequences for that. One way to mitigate that, if you're not sure and you realize you're taking on debt, is to use the limousine. There are a few casinos that are run by the mafia, and if you can pass by those, you can gain extra money to try and cover your debts later at the end of the game.
And that is kind of a great moment at the end of the game when everybody kind of reveals that dog-eared piece of paper, and you compare and you're like, oh, whew, I made it, I don't have to pay back all these debts that I thought I was going to own, or oh shoot, it just cost me a bunch of points. That mechanic is a really great little piece at the end that kind of ups the ante, and you're not really 100% sure who's got the game in the bag.
Yeah, a few other ways to gain points in the game is one thing we didn't mention is there's one for improvements, just like the original, where you can mark off. So if you're using the limo to go by lots of hotels with fountains or a VIP hotel, you can gain tons of points for those. Or just by making your hotels worth more. There's lots of different ways to use the improvements mechanic in the game.
Yeah, lots of cool stuff going on. It is definitely a little bit more meaty and thinky than the original, but we've played this with some brand new players who were able to jump in. And the nice thing is because you're kind of just jotting a number down for those first couple rounds, you can kind of learn the game as you go because you're not going to probably hose yourself as long as you have the basic understanding of keep the low numbers to the left and the high numbers to the right. So it's a nice be able to kind of jump into it type of thing where you don't have to have every single rule in complete understanding at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, there have been some newer games to come out that are the roll and write family of games that are a little bit heavier. I have enjoyed those. We've played enough lighter roll and write games that have come out recently, so I was really happy to see a beefed up, meatier version of one that we're already familiar with, but there's a lot more thought process going on behind the scenes.
If it sounds like something you'd be interested in, definitely check out Welcome to New Las Vegas from Deepwater Games. And then as always, thanks so much for liking, subscribing, and following along here at Tantrum House. Deepwater Games was happy to send us a copy. Welcome to the Neighborhood game. Came out just a couple years ago and has been a very favorite flip and fill game of ours. Very favorite. The casinos are hot. The nightlife is hot. The limos are sparkly.